middle class. For more, we have Charles Chaw, he's the director at China Knowledge Consulting, to join us to make sense of it all. Now, of course, it makes logical sense that China would become the world's top market for cars. It does have the world's biggest population, 1.3 billion people, and also China is a very low-cost manufacturing base. What does this all mean for other car-making centres, such as Detroit, for instance? Will this put them out of business?
Yeah, this year China replaced Japan as the second largest market in the world. It's just a matter of time when is China going to overtake United States. Now, if you look at the production unit this year, it's going to hit 7 million, and they're not far off from the United States. Now, the cause of concern to many manufacturers is the success of two local manufacturers, Geely and Chery, would encourage them to adopt the same policy of exporting cars from China to the outside world. Now, what we see today are the JVs producing cars. Even BMW are producing their 3 Series and a 5 Series. I witnessed them in the factories in Changchun. The quality is as good. So the concern is, would these manufacturers produce cars in China and export out from China to the world? That would be a big concern.
Now, the report is published by the Chinese Communist Party's Policy Research Office, and it's predicted that those two car makers you mentioned, that Chery and Geely, are the two firms that are poised for enormous growth. To what extent is this a sort of a free ad for those two car companies? Because, of course, it's in China's interest to sort of promote its own car makers.
The success of these two local manufacturers is a very good signal to local JVs. I mean, the Chinese side that owns JVs with Volkswagen, with the big brands. They have to look to export cars from China and not just focus on the domestic market.
But do you think this is an attempt by China to sort of, obviously develop its own local car makers as opposed to foreign rivals? As you say, foreign rivals have to come in with a JV, with a joint venture, with a local company. So are they to some extent protecting their market?
When China first started building its auto industry, it is, even today, it's mandatory that it has to come in the form of joint ventures. Now, these 20 over years, for example, Volkswagen has brought in technology. Yes, they're enjoying a market share, but more and more foreign players are coming in. The Hyundai, the Japanese brands, of course the GM, even French and Italian coming in. And so they are all rushing into this market to bring the good technology, and that improve the local manufacturing power, and then they're poised to do major exports in time to come.
All right, so as you're saying, there are limitations for foreign car makers. We have seen Volkswagen do particularly well. Its share of the market is shrinking. It did particularly well because it was an early comer into the market. Now, to what extent will foreign car makers continue to do well in China, especially as these local car makers catch
China
up?
is very attractive, looking at 2 points. Now, first of all, it's low-cost manufacturing. Second, it's 1.3 billion. We're talking about a huge market. It's very, very attractive to set up plants in China.
All right, we'll leave it there. Charles Chaw from China Knowledge Consulting. China.